The mortals that enter into the millennial reign of Christ, will they die at some point during that 1,000 years? And if and when they have children, will their children be sinless? These are some questions that I was asked today concerning the video that I posted yesterday. So I wanted to address those questions and thought I would go ahead and do so on a video in case anyone else was wondering about those things. Again, the millennial reign is the 1,000-year reign of Christ over the nations from Jerusalem that follows the 7-year tribulation and the second coming of Christ. Those who survive the 7-year tribulation and make it through the sheep and goat judgment from Matthew 25, you can read about that there, will repopulate the earth during the millennial reign. They will go into the millennial reign still in their normal mortal bodies. They will not be immortal. They'll still have their sinful nature, etc. And they will enter into the millennial reign. They will die at some point during that, unless perhaps they're very young. Maybe they're a child that was born during the tribulation and they somehow survived the tribulation and they survived the entire 1,000 years. We don't know exactly how long people will live. We can see from the Old Testament that it seemingly goes backward to perhaps the ages of people in the Old Testament living to be hundreds of years old, but we don't know exactly. We're only told that if a child dies at the age of 100, they will thought to be young. It will be thought that they were accursed, that they died so young. So 100 is young. So what's old? We don't know exactly. But yes, those who are mortal that enter into the millennial reign will still die at some point because they are mortal. They still have a sinful nature. And because they have a sinful nature, any children that they have will have that sinful nature as well. That will pass on to them just as it passed on to us from our forefathers, Adam and Eve. So they will have a sinful nature and they would at some point die as well, again, unless they survive the entire 1,000 years or they're born 300 or 400 years into it and they live to be 500, 600, 700 years old. We don't know exactly. So the earth will be populated by mortals, will be repopulated by mortals during the millennial reign. And the immortals, those of us who were raptured prior to the tribulation and or resurrected prior to the tribulation, who return with Christ at the second coming, will rule and reign with Jesus over the nations from Jerusalem for that 1,000-year time frame. I hope that helps, and thank you for the questions.